The honourable member for Cunningham.
Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Industry and Science. How will the Albanese Labor government's tax cuts help Australian manufacturing workers, and are there any risks to Labor's plan?
Give the call to the Minister for Industry and Science.
Thanks, Speaker, and thanks to the member for the question, because this government is one that believes in a future made in Australia, because manufacturing delivers great jobs. 900,000 plus jobs in this country, 85% of them full-time, and the bulk of them pay better than average weekly earnings. And under Labor's plans, particularly in terms of cost of living relief, and overall in terms of wage increases, we want those workers to earn more and keep more under what we are doing. So what does that mean in practice for manufacturing workers? If you look at a well-known employer in the member for Cunningham's electorate, BlueScope Steel, you can see an entry-level blast furnace operator, important job, a skilled profession at the heart of steelmaking. They make a base salary of around $59,000 a year. They're going to get a tax cut of $1,160. And if that worker goes on to gain experience and expertise and go up from entry-level operator to level 4 operator, their base salary jumps to around $86,000, and they'll get an even bigger tax cut, $1,840. And if you look at others in manufacturing, for example, workers at CSL across the country, from Parkville, Broadmeadows and over to North Sydney, who research and manufacture life-saving medicines, those workers on the lowest salaries covered in their current agreement, who make a base salary of around $69,000, they're going to enjoy more than $1,400 as a tax cut. And those on the highest salaries covered by the agreement, currently with a base salary of about $120,000, they're going to enjoy a $2,700 tax cut. Now, I thought there was semi-compelling viewing in Nemesis. And I don't mean any disrespect to the makers of the mockumentary, but the better thing to watch was their position on our tax cuts. It was way better viewing. And in fact, and at this point we cue the Deputy Leader of the Opposition and Shadow Minister for Industry, who, when we offered a tax cut for manufacturing workers, said it was absolutely her position to roll back Labor's tax cuts if they win the election. And then the only thing that happened is that they rolled back her position and didn't go ahead with it. And so I'm really hoping there's room for a sequel for Nemesis, but if they won't do it, you've got to give us a blooper reel, and there's got to be a Susan section to Nemesis.
Order.
There's got to be a Susan section.
The Minister will pause. He will not refer to members by their first name. He will refer to them by their correct titles. The Minister will pause. The member for Riverina and the Manager of Opposition on the point of order. On
relevance is well outside the terms of the question. It should be directed back to her.
The question contained risks to Labor's plan. Well,
the programs on particular television networks.
Order. The Minister has 22 seconds. I'm going to remind him to refer to members by their title and refer back to the question and make sure his answer is relevant to risks to Labor's plans.
Thank you, Speaker. Absolutely. But it is important that manufacturing workers know that the Shadow Minister for Industry and the Deputy Leader doesn't back them getting tax cuts, and was actively working to stop that until at some point they worked out their position and came to common sense. On this side of the House, manufacturing workers know we've got their back.
Concluded.